wanted to reconnect with the community and kind of find out what's happening in the space. Obviously, the capital being Wellington, there was a lot of opportunities.
When you're doing something, make sure that you're out there, but keep your life experience in here as well.
Kia ora and welcome to voiceofaroha. Today's episode is about leadership and community. And we have two wonderful youth leaders with us, our guests. And I'll just give you the mic to introduce yourself the way you want to introduce yourself. We'll start with you.
Is that with you, Jenny?
Yes, Jenny.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Jenny Nguyen. I am part of the New Zealand National Refugee Youth Council. We're here to participate. Thank you kindly for inviting us to join in this session. We're so excited to share our stories and just participate. It's such a good kaupapa voice of Aotearoa, and we love networking and sharing our stories and our active community members and kaupapas and groups that allow us to collaborate in these sessions. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Welcome.
Minglaba everyone, my name is William. I'm with the National Refugee Youth Council and I'm quite excited to be here. Like what my colleague said, we can't wait to tell you guys what we have in plan and what we did for our events. We're so excited. Yeah.
Cool. Welcome. I'm so excited to chat with you and know more about New Zealand Youth Council, right? And do you want guys to tell us what is it, what do you do, why you joined this organization?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wanna go first?
Yeah, sure.
That's always like a line.
We'll just go for a line. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I joined the same time as William. We've been a part of the council for 1 year now. We are the Wellington Youth Leaders. So part of the National Refugee Youth Council is within New Zealand, there's about 14 resettlement cities. Our youth council spans from Auckland down to Timaru, Lyven, Christchurch, Invercargill and Dunedin. So we've got little groups all throughout New Zealand. I moved to Wellington last year and I registered to be a part of the youth council because I've been a part of the Auckland group in the refugee space before moving here. And when I moved here, I wanted to reconnect with the community and kind of find out what's happening in the space. Obviously, the capital being Wellington, there was a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
And for anyone that's moved out of their home or out of their city, they know how hard it is to resettle. So finding this group was so good for me to kind of network with like amazing individuals and all of the ethnicities and our cultural minorities in Wellington. It's been such a great opportunity. And part of the National Refugee Youth Council, there was a lot of opportunities for us to attend leadership forums, national networks, as well as participate in government sessions to advise on what it's like to be youth, and then kind of like build connections and advocate for what it's like to be a refugee youth member and a leader in the region. So a lot of eyes are on us at the moment, being refugee youth. A lot of people want to participate in growing and expanding the youth sector and kind of how they can help bring our community out and involved in the different types of things that are out there. So yeah, it's a great experience and it's very, very busy.
Actually, I'm one of the eyes that I was looking on the stories on Instagram and I saw you guys are doing lots of nice stuff.
Lots of stuff.
And always I'm chatting with Jebes. I was like, can I join, please?
Oh, we love that.
I'm 30, but can I just join secretly and not say that? Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah.
What about you, William?
So I guess when I started out, same thing with Jenny, we started together. And before I go into that, I'd just like to tell a bit about myself.
Yes,
and
sure.
then I can build on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like Jenny, I was sort of disconnected from my own community. I'm not fluent in Burmese. I can understand the language, but I'm not. I can't speak it properly. But throughout my my years, I've just been focusing on the English word, and my parents always encouraged me to speak English because here in New Zealand, using my cultural language won't work and won't get me anywhere. So I decided I think they may be right. So to find a job in the future and to support my family, I have to speak English and I have to learn the language in order to get a job, in order to pass my education, which I did. But because I passed my education, it got to a point where I'm like, okay, right. I don't even know my traditions, and I don't even know which part of the country I'm originally born from, and I don't know the right words to say when I speak to other Burmese people. And so I thought to myself, I should go back, learn my language, find my identity, and from there build upon, I guess, a way to help refugees, especially people from my culture who struggle with language barriers. And I have been helping the Burmese people as well through translation.
That's
And and when I finally reached high school, one of my science teachers, coming from him, he sort of like opened my eyes a bit because he talked about his refugee experience when he was in Vietnam, like you, Jenny, about the war between America and the North Vietnamese, and there was a whole issue, but I won't go into that. He said when he was in a refugee camp, the life there wasn't easy. It was messy. There was no power, no water, no food. And when he managed to leave the country with his parents, he always told himself that whenever he's out there partying, whenever he's doing work, whenever he's doing anything, he always keep his family in mind and his life experiences in the back of his mind. And he told me to never forget that. When you're doing something, make sure that you're out there, but keep your life experience in here as well. Even though you may not remember it as a kid to moving to New Zealand, because I barely remember my country, but my family does, and their struggles. And so I said, you know what, you're right. My family did experience struggle while moving to a new country, and it's my job now to look after them. And so then I decided to do the Commonwealth Youth here in New Zealand, and they gave me the opportunity to meet with Daniel, who was the CEO from the New Zealand National Refugee Youth Council. And so then from there, I sort of got my own story out there, just to let people know that, it's not easy being a refugee.
Absolutely.
And always keep in mind that your education is important, so that way you can help your family, because they themselves did suffer for you to come here.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
yeah.
I agree. It's like, thank you for sharing that. It's lovely. And I like how you try to keep that. And also, it's really important when the guys do, like connecting these people together and sharing those stories together. It's just we all have the same background and we have the same issues. So it's good to work on that and just improve it, make it better, make it positive, and as much as we can, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and just sharing will make it just easier.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
For sure.
Cool. And can you tell us about the team? It's like this team, like how many you are, what your focus is, and how you connect with each. Like, it's like you said, you mentioned something about each city has team in it. Like, it's very cool. I like that. And how are you finding this connection is working? Like, is it easy? Is it hard? Is it?
Well, I guess I'll answer that question.
Cool.
I feel like, based here in Wellington, there's only 3 of us here. So me, Jenny, and Jesne. She's not here, but she's part of our team. And so we've been in a phase where we're trying to get connections here in Wellington and build like a strong foundation so that whenever we have an event, we can connect with those young people since they attended the different kind of events that we attended. And so the other teams, the other regions, they have their own goals. They have their own sort of way of doing things. And so that's good on them. But for us, we're like trying to get into that group of young people. We want to reach them. We want to open these opportunities for them. As when I grew up, I didn't have much opportunities. And so I want to give them as much as I can. So that's what our plan is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So we're still quite early in our stages of building the group and our participation. I think with a lot of community work, it's very hard with youth, especially because obviously being a young person, you've got school to manage, you've got family, transport's very hard. A lot of people struggle to find time to just in general time. We love our sleep. But there's a lot of commitments for young people. And I think for our Wellington team especially, we're just trying to network as much as we can to build that foundation. And obviously Voice of Aroha being such a strong part of the community, we love being able to join in collaboration to provide those spaces. Because the thing is, like, a lot of people, I think, know about us, but they might not have time to participate, but the more that we're out there and we're actually showing up and doing events and stuff like that, it will bring people more out of their shell. And we know that there are a lot of refugees out there with barriers like to access these type of events. So having different communities kind of provide different things. Obviously, Voice of Aroha, you guys do podcasts, so it's really cool to hear different stories. And then kind of that, like what William said, like representation, like growing up, we never saw this type of stuff. And nowadays, it's such a cool space that young people are leading this. And it's not like an adult telling you how to do things or what to do. And it's not like a school thing as well. It's like completely youth-led, for youth, by youth.
Yes.
We've done a lot of huge events as well, which is really cool, such as like our Refugee Youth Week and then the Youth Council, what was it called?
The
Youth Week.
Yes.
Yeah,
Youth
National
Week,
Youth Week,
yes.
which we're really proud of, and we can talk to in detail about the things that we did in 2025. But most of the stuff that our council does is such a high level and a high scale. Like to see Hamilton activate and Christchurch activate, so every city has about 3 to 4 youth leaders. I think our cohort goes for 2 years, so you serve for 2 years, and then the application process is that you apply when the application's open, and then you do an interview. And if you're a part of the local region that you're already in, if you're part of like the cultural networks, or you're already doing things in school, like part of university groups or anything that's leadership based, it puts you forward to become a youth leader, because obviously you know the youth in the region already, and then you know what type of scholarships there are, what the uni's like, you know what the suburbs are like. So having those local groups is really strong, because it's not like someone outside coming in to kind of manage your area. A lot of the things that we've found is that different cities have different priorities. So some of the things that Auckland is prioritizing for them is different from, for example, the South Island, because the cultural groups in the different regions are very interesting, the demographics, even Nelson. And I think one of the things about refugee youth that we're doing is trying to integrate youth into the community. So providing like arcade games, or taking people out to do fun things that are youth specific.
That's right.
One of the things I think that Jabeth and Gisney and Daniel and our leadership team in Wellington have identified is that a lot of the youth that grow up in New Zealand, and like my background is my parents came here as Vietnamese refugees in the 90s, and I'm first generation, so I was born here. But a lot of the children that come through young have a different perspective of life. Like our experience of growing through school and like caring for our families and stuff put a lot of pressure on the youth.
That's right.
So one of the things that I think is really strong that the council does is prioritize having fun and being youth. So we know that there's so many different types of support groups already out there. And again, a lot of the things we do is in collaboration. So we like to help what's already existing, kind of connect our people to resources that are already out there. Because the difficulty is being a youth is we're not experts. We're good at being young, and we can speak on lived experience.
But you have the energy, right?
And we have the energy and the idea and the hype, but we don't have the resources. So if the youth comes to us and tells us, oh, they really want to get into something, then we kind of facilitate it in a way that will connect you with a professional. So a lot of the other areas are doing like workshops on all sorts of
different variety of topics. And so I guess for us it's just to like
cater to
them.
Of what they
just
want.
Like
That's
flexible, open, whatever. That's how things works with like communities and other. If you want others to be interested in, like, just be open and flexible. I love that. Yes, thank you, Jenny. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Cool.
Already.
I want each of you to answer that. Is there any moment that you felt like during this like in an organization doing this event, whatever, is there a moment that you felt, yes, I see what I see what I want to achieve. I know you just reach a moment that you worked hard to get it? Is there like a success moment that you felt, oh, I'm happy I got this?
I guess I'll go with that first.
Cool.
So basically, when we hosted our Youth Week event, we got different sort of like advertisements, different sort of way to get ourselves out there. And so after a month later, from our successful Youth Week event that we held, someone, I won't say their name, but I was working, and they came out like, aren't you that person that was advertising these events? And I was like, yeah, I am. And they told me that they weren't able to come because of transportation and there wasn't a established like communication line to connect.
Oh, yes.
And so that sort of feedback helps us sort of like reevaluate, okay, we need to build a communication system. We need good transportation. We need to be flexible in this. But just being able to be recognized is like a success in itself. And it feels nice, that we're actually doing something and we're accomplishing our goals.
And people want to interact, but there's something that
there's
missing.
always
So
something.
knowing this missing is really important.
Definitely.
And to improve.
Yeah.
Thank you. How about
Definitely.
you?
I think for me, like you mentioned, like me and William's faces have been everywhere because we're just always showing
Yes.
up. The main part is showing up.
It's
So
just the energy
definitely.
and
for me, I guess a big moment during my journey with the council is, like I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast, but prior, I hate public speaking. Like 5 years ago,
great.
Jenny could never. Like, so
I think you're doing great today.
Oh,
Why are you hating?
Yes, Jenny,
I
don't
know
put yourself
everyone
down.
says
Come
that,
on.
honestly, but it's like I think it's more so in my head. And because I'm bilingual, I speak fluent in both. It's hard to find the words when you're thinking about something, and then obviously in the moment when you're saying it as well, it's a lot different in translation. So one of the cool things that Daniel and Jabeth actually threw me in the deep end for was to put me on the spot to do advocacy work for the council. I wasn't pressured to do it, but it was a great opportunity because I had the opportunity to stand in front of crowds and bring forward our message and what it's about. In reflection, when Daniel was recording, I could watch back and see that it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was. And kind of the coaching from our leadership team. So we've got, we keep mentioning Daniel. He's the lovely CEO. He's
Yes, definitely.
all over the show.
All
and
Everyone know Daniel.
everyone
He's
knows
well
Daniel.
known.
Yes, he was Kubi Bank's hero. What is it?
Yeah,
local
the
hero
local
award
hero.
and stuff.
Yes.
So he's just an integral part of kind of the glue that makes our organization keep going. And Daniel and Jabeth have history in Wellington, and they know how things work and the way that we can grow for the council. So having Daniel step back and then put me forward in support was a really great experience for me. And obviously with like my anxiety and public speaking, kind of those opportunities, those small little wins, even though I know it's not that serious and I'm not talking to politicians or anything, but to be able to have a space where you can kind of experiment and like
and
have
being
that support.
uncomfortable, and then you'll be like, I did this.
Definitely.
Like facing your challenge and challenging yourself.
Yeah, so like even for me being New Zealand born with refugee background, little things like that, I highly encourage like our youth to participate. So like a lot of the things that I know for like youth coming into groups where you don't know anyone, you don't have a friend to go with, the Refugee Youth Council is that space where you find people and then you kind of meet people that are like you. Obviously no one is exactly the same and everyone's story is different, but the council's kaupapa is to make that space available for youth. And I think having that refugee as the centre of what connects us all is really cool because you get to see people that are like obviously been here for like a week or 3 months, newly resettled, people that have been here since they were 4, since they were 10. So there's so much variety.
Stages and
Yeah, and like we all live in New Zealand now, so we have that to bond over as well. But those safe spaces are really what makes us, I think,
Definitely, it's very important to have those safe spaces, you know?
a success.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
like without them, like how are you supposed to bring out your personality? How are you supposed to talk openly, without being ridiculed or put down by other people?
And people that don't understand.
Exactly, that's
Yes,
right.
yes.
Like they would never understand our background because we did suffer through a lot to get here.
Yeah.
And just by one glance, like, oh, I don't like that person. But you don't know that person in the first place, you know?
Yes, that's true.
Definitely.
And that's the whole slogan of why we are here. Because like we are here to like exist and empower people
Yes,
and advocate
that's
as well.
Yeah.
Yes, just get people together and get them to know each other.
Yeah.
And feel like
Definitely.
safe space to express themselves.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
lovely. Other question for you guys.
Yes.
It's like not a very hard one.
You can hit us.
Okay.
We're so
Well,
ready.
we are ready. Go
Are you
for
ready?
it. Yes.
Cool. I wanted you to talk about a moment that is very challenging. It was very hard, very stressing, and you being in this situation and you did something about it, like in this organization.
Yeah. Do you want me to start?
Or
Yeah, you
Well,
go.
you can
start.
think.
I will think about that because there's a lot, and I'll
Oh,
choose
yes.
one that's with a happy story.
Yeah.
cool. Yes. Let's go.
So I guess like for me, one of the things that we're prioritizing and actively working on is the community engagement. So for us as youth leaders, we can put on events and we can advertise and we can do everything that a leader should. But at the end of the day, what makes it difficult is when people don't show up. And that was one of the big fears that we had. But like William said, that was a success story because the Youth Week event that we had, no one knew anyone. And we had like 12 people show up, which is a success because
That's
for
true,
12
yes.
people to put themselves out there to a group that doesn't know or have relations with
All
anyone.
new faces. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
such a wonderful success. So I think going forward, this is a great opportunity for us to get our voices out there, but also to build the Wellington region participation. It's hard, and we understand that it is hard for youth, but one of the success stories is like having feedback. Like you just tell us what you need and what's stopping you and how we can help you, and then we can kind of connect the dots there. But community participation I think is one of the hardest things to build, especially as a new
I
cohort.
agree. Yeah.
And kind of keeping it up. Understandably, everyone's got a life to live and everyone's busy,
That's
and
right, yes.
some people are like super young, some people are like with children. Everyone's story is different, but trying to build that network is something that we're focusing on. And love that voiceofaroha, Athi,
Thanks.
Rata, Kodran. Everyone is so supportive all the time, and I think that type of collaboration strengthens our
absolutely.
community
Yes.
because like you guys do things, we do things, everyone's doing things,
Let's
and like
share it.
yeah,
Yes.
we split the dates and then we'll make sure that we show up and attend. And that's,
Yeah,
I think, one of the hardest things that we can encourage youth is just you don't need to bring anything. You don't need to overthink it. You just need to show up and kind of see what's out there and what we can provide and kind of just have a good time. And I think that a lot of things in this world is very fast and you kind of forget that the beauty of it is just like it's not that serious.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Do you want to add anything, William?
I guess Jenny has said it all. It's about I guess our fear is not enough young people attending our events or like just any events in general because we want to get to them so that they feel encouraged enough to attend the events we host, the Voice Aotearoa host, or if any other organization hosts. So that way they have the chance of getting their stories told and I guess putting themselves out there and overcoming a challenge that they have.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think as Jenny, you mentioned something about like you don't like public speaking because you have two languages and you try to translate. And I think this is the big problem for all the migrant and refugee who has like two languages. And so that's a reason maybe why they don't want to show up or they don't want they are just unsure about how to use the language and stressing
definitely.
about it.
Yeah.
But this mic is for them, right?
This
This
mic-
organization
Yes,
for you, right?
Of course.
This is especially for migrant and refugees. So
Yes.
they have
Yeah.
the opportunities, they have the space for them.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
And it's a safe space. That's what, like,
Yes.
I think growing up for me, and it's hard because, like, my accent's very Kiwi. A lot of people are very surprised that I speak two language, but I guess, like, because we're hosted as refugee space and we know that the different types of stages, depending on when you come, is a language barrier in itself. My background professionally is in healthcare, so I'm very big on mental health, especially for youth. And one of the things that you mentioned is confidence. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can come. I don't know if they'll understand me. But, like, from the feedback that we've received from our youth so far, some of the people that came to youth, they didn't speak an ounce of English. Like, they didn't know their name. Like, they're very new to the country. But because William could translate, or we could partner them up. They told us what their barrier was, and we kind of
yes.
found a way to provide a solution. And that's what we kind of have to encourage, is
It's
that
all about understanding what they
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's very important. I mean, like, let's say we're doing some sort of like art and craft or something, and then there's like a language barrier. We can overcome that challenge by simply putting something in the piece of paper, and they can add on to that.
Yes.
or pictures. I do
Or
cue
your
cards.
pictures, yeah, or cue cards.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Yes, that's good. So I love what you guys, the challenging you're facing and how you guys dealing with it. Is there anything you're planning for next? Like what next for the organization?
Well, we've been doing a lot of projects, and they're gonna be big, and so we don't want to share the full scope of it yet, because everything is still being in progress and planned out.
Yes.
But once we do have something, we'll share it on our stories, and we'll pass it on to Voice of Aotearoa, and they
Yes.
can share it in their platforms.
Excited
So
to
yeah,
hear that.
exciting future.
Yes. Cool. I would just ask about what would you advise young people, other young people in New Zealand, to who want to lead or be in a who want to lead or help the community, what they should do, how they can help.
Most importantly, find an inspiration, because without an inspiration, you can't put yourself out there, and there has to be a reason to do something you want to do. With me, I want to really get into politics, and I want to support and represent the refugees because of my inspiration and the way I grew up. And with what my science teacher said, there's always going to be things that you do. Just make sure you keep in mind of your family struggles, and use that as like a fuel to do what you need to do. And so I really encourage you to find your inspiration, get out there, do a lot of opportunities that's presented to you, attend events, even if you don't want to. I really encourage, just go to them. You don't have to stay for long as you participate. That's what matters. Because what if you accidentally or found something that you never thought would happen, you know? And so so just do those. And thirdly, most importantly, just always keep in mind about what you sort of want to, I guess, how do I put this in words? Don't feel like you can't do it. Like, don't put yourself down too easy.
Yeah.
I did that when I was on my own journey to becoming a leader. I put myself down quite a lot, and I doubted myself in my own public speaking. And same with Jenny, like, she also doubted herself. And please don't do that. Like, I highly encourage you not to put yourself down so easily. If you do that, then all the doors leading to whatever goal you have in mind will be closed. So just make sure you feel encouraged. And if you feel like you don't put enough work, always go and ask someone you may know, someone you can trust. And they can tell you that you're doing well. You don't need to put yourself down. You can do it.
Yes,
Just do it.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Actually, thank you.
So strong.
Yes, very.
So true. Speaking truth.
I know.
I guess for me, my advice to young people is very similar to William. My upbringing, I grew up in South Auckland, so I was around a lot of different cultures, and I think that was such one of the main things that kind of gave me the courage and strength to speak, because what I encourage, especially people from refugee background, is keep your identity. I think growing up in New Zealand, a lot of us try to assimilate, meaning you try to do the things the way society tells you. But the strength, and honestly, I'm on the other side of the youth age, is that if you are able to be grounded in who you are, what you can bring to the table,
Yes.
your languages, you'll be surprised how many times I have to translate Vietnamese in the clinic. These type of little things that you kind of thought was holding you back is what puts you apart. So a lot of the things that I would encourage youth to kind of focus on is, instead of trying to change things, kind of break down and understand who you are and what you want to do. Like William said, a purpose will take you so far, and especially in university and stuff. Go and do the support groups and go to your tutorials and show up and do the things that you know that you should be doing. identity is a huge part of my journey, and I think that that's a huge part of a lot of refugee background journey, because you're in a new setting and you're kind of learning a whole new language, a whole new way of life. People are doing it this way in that family. People are doing it that way in your family. And to have the culture mixed with the community, mixed with your own journey is a lot. And I think that finding good people and a safe space and people that you trust is very important, because you need to talk to people to get feedback and not to overthink it in your head.
That's right.
I think a lot of social media and the things that we can see now have trained our mental health to be a lot more vulnerable, because we know so much. Like, it's such a sensitive society with all the information. Back in the days, like, when I say back in days, like back in my days, you'd go to the library, you know, like it was a lot slower to get information. But now with the youth, we have to understand that it's a lot more faster, and your brain isn't made or evolved to keep up at that speed. So mental health and kind of learning about yourself, your identity, where you want to go, and the confidence to be able to be in that setting, I think is very important for our youth. And one of the things is just showing up. Like William said, we just got to do the sessions, show up, and participate in the things that really make you happy. And the last thing is just to be kind to yourself. I think being a young person is very hard, and a lot of people say that, but I think everyone that is young know we don't have time, we don't have money, and it's very hard, but you'll get through it. Everyone has to get through it eventually, and I think it's just great to have like these groups together.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that. Actually, I think it's a struggle for us to keep the identity and adapt to a new culture, everything. It's a new country, but it's also like New Zealand, very diverse, the most diverse country. And when we figure out and you have conversation with other people from different countries, you find like we have a lot of similarity, and we share lots of things. And that's where you're like, okay, we have the same experience, we have same things. And we can like, even different culture, very different, but we still have the things that, we have things like very similar, but maybe different meaning or something like that. And like knowing that, it's really exciting. I just feel so happy because we share things, we do that. And
we're definitely very lucky in New Zealand. I think the other thing that we have to acknowledge is obviously tangata whenua, like having our culture embedded in our history opens it up, because like if you learn about te tiriti and like the Māori culture, you'll see people take their shoes off before they come inside the house. There are a lot of similarities, like you said, from different backgrounds, but New Zealand's one of the lucky countries where it's part of the Commonwealth, which is like the crown and stuff, and then also have that treaty to hold down the culture, to be able to like show up in the society and do the things that are important to you, but also part of the society that we have in New Zealand, at least. Like, you wouldn't find...
That's right. I mean, like, if you think of, like, you know, big countries such as Australia or America, there's tons of racism and prosecution going on. And whereas in New Zealand, you know, we have that opportunity to be, like, able to speak our mind, you know, and to hold the government accountable. So we are very lucky thanks to the treaty.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely, Cool. We are running out of time, so we have a little bit, few minutes to share one message to the audience. So, what would you tell the audience?
I guess I'll go back to my earlier point of view of not putting yourself down. So I'll just summarize everything. So when I was applying for scholarships, for instance. It was like worth like 50K, so it covers all 3 years of your university life. I thought to myself, I can't do that, you know, like I don't have that ability. I don't think I'm able to go for that role or actually get it, because I feel someone else would do it. And so all these sort of overthinkingness, putting doubt on myself, didn't really help until I talked through with my parents, and they said, William, you're a refugee. We came from a poor country. You have nothing to lose. Just go for it. And I did. And so I managed to win the scholarship because of my parents, who encouraged me. So if you're in a similar boat by applying scholarship or whatever you're doing, just don't put yourself down, please. Talk to someone you trust, and then they can help you build up that confidence and that courage to do what you need to do.
Lovely. Thank you, William.
I guess my advice to the audience is to show up, be young, have fun, and I think, like my co-leader said, it's very important to put yourself out there, but it's even more important to be kind to yourself. So if you are in Wellington, come to our Wellington Refugee Youth Council events, little plug. We are very fun, very social, and we are all from refugee backgrounds. So if you do have the opportunity and chance, follow us on our social media. It's all on Instagram, Facebook. We have an email. And if you want to connect with us, you can either message Voiceofaroha. A lot of our posters will be sent through. And yeah, just come and support and have fun.
And we have a tradition of, we ask you a question that our last guest left for you, and then you will get the opportunity to write a question for our next guest. So I'll read the question for you, and the question is, what is your biggest pet peeve and why?
Ooh,
Yes,
that's a really good question.
Oh,
You got one?
I have
Go
one
ahead.
on the top of my
Go
head.
ahead.
Cool.
Names. This is a silly one, but this is because of my background. When people don't take the time to learn names, or when people try to correct your name, that gets me going, because your name is your identity. Like, your parents gave you the name. So when people try to fix, and this happens in a lot of cultures, but growing up, a lot of Polynesian names are very similar. So like, I can't give you an example on the top of my head, but if you know, you know. And it's like, when I do my emails and someone calls me by a different name back, gets me going. It's like literally right in front of you. Why can't you just put my name in? So I'm very particular when I learn people's names, because for me, growing up, I'm just like, it's not that hard to kind of learn a name. I'm also a little bit dyslexic, so I have to break it down in writing, because a lot of different cultures have different ways of doing names. But yeah, I am very vigilant when it comes to names.
I'm terrible with names. I'm scared now.
It's a silly pet peeve. I think it's just me, but like, if people can learn each other's names, bare minimum,
They'll be safe. They'll be safe.
You'll be safe from me.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
and how about you,
man. I think mine would be like common sense. So basically when I say that is, let's say, for example, there's like a music you're playing out loud. Don't mind that, it's a party. But if you have it till like 12 p.m. all the way till like 8 a.m. in the morning.
On a Monday night.
Yeah, on a Monday night. Please just make sure you use a bit of common sense here. You're not the one living in that street by yourself, okay? There's
I think
other people.
you live with neighbors that.
Man.
Let's keep it a secret.
He's gonna own a farm when he's older and not have neighbors.
if your neighbors are watching out, they won't be happy.
Oh man, I'm ready. But yeah, so like, just be very careful, because my parents, they're very old. They need their sleep. They need their perfect 8-hour sleep. So just use a bit of common sense.
Absolutely, yes.
Good question.
That's important, actually. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to say, like, this is the end of our conversation.
Okay.
And a huge thank you to you both for sharing stories and sharing all the information about the organization. I really enjoyed the conversation with you. And also a huge thank you to our listeners who are tuning in, and to Voice of Aroha. And yes, that's us. See you later.
Goodbye. Thank you.